Oh, the dog. She is funny. What is that life-changing thing that brought us success in our homeschool day? Getting all the homeschool things done every day. Well, that would be pretty unbelievable, right? Getting them done without having to be a constant nag to your children. Well, that would be life-changing. And having time built into the day for mama to get not only the homeschool stuff done, but also her home responsibilities and maybe a little bit of work. Well, that would be unbelievable and life-changing. So before I show you the schedule that we've been doing recently, I want to make this disclaimer. This is my 7th year homeschooling. I'm almost on year number 8, and every year has been different. All of our needs have changed from a year-to-year basis. So my family and what works for my family may be different from your family, so keep that in mind. If you have younger kids in particular, your needs may be very different from mine. So just keep that in mind as I share with you what we're doing, but hopefully you will gain a lot of great ideas to make something like this work in your home. So for our homeschool, not one year has been the same. I feel like I have redone a schedule every single year. So last year I did kind of a block schedule, and it worked really well for the needs that we had last year. But this year I have a high schooler, and he is working more independently, and I had another problem last year. I have a child who, if not held accountable, will procrastinate doing the most simplest of tasks. She will take her sweet, sweet time doing pretty much anything, whether it's we're starting a task and, oh, I need to get a glass of water, or, oh, I need my blanket. So there are constant interruptions with this one. Time to start school. I need to go to the bathroom. Right? What have you been doing for the last half an hour break that I just gave you? But those minor interruptions, they add up. They may be just 30 seconds here, a minute there. So you get to the end of the school day and you're realizing, wow, we haven't gotten it all done. Where did the time go? And then the next morning starts, see what I mean? And she does her little interruptions and you're like, yep. That's where the time goes. So comment below if you can relate to this. Do you have a child who interrupts your whole school day on a regular basis? And if you don't have a child like that, please comment below and tell us your secrets. How do you do it? So I took what we did last year, which was a block schedule, and I modified it so that it has time stamps on it now. I still hung it up in my dry erase, so if we want to mark on it throughout the day, we can, but let me walk you through what we did here. So I modified this schedule to have time stamps. These are just guidelines, not hard and fast, but it helps me see early on if we're falling behind our pace. Some days it's okay, other days we just can't. Our schedule has lots of margin in it. The daily chores are built in, as you can see. Dinner chores, afternoon, morning chores, right there. Mom's work is built in, and there is time built in for me to shift between kids. The schedule is kind of more to manage mom's time, and then whatever the child didn't get done becomes their homework at the end of the day. So now any interruptions or any wasted time, it's costing them, not me. Also, comment on this if you can relate to this, mama. Any other mamas out there who feel brain dead by 3 o'clock? Yes, so if we're still doing school at 3 o'clock, I am not the sharpest tool in the shed by then. It's like, I'm done. I gotta be done with school. I might have to help, but I don't know what the quality is going to be like at that point. So shoot me down in the comments below and amen, sister, if you are like that also. Quickly kind of explain what we got here. First of all, this is a dry erase pocket. I talked about these in my supplies video here. These are from Amazon, but I think I've seen them at Target Dollar Spot before. So 8 o'clock is when I would like all of my kids to be up and getting breakfast and getting their daily chores done. Anytime we have chores listed, I have what those chores are listed over here. So daily chores, morning chores, afternoon chores, dinner chores. So from 8:30 to 9:30, we're doing what we call our Bible time. These are just kind of minutes that I put in there to think, what could we squeeze in here? But there are going to be days when our Sunday school lesson might need more than 20 minutes. So in that case, I might say, well, you have to work on your memory verse on your own, or we might skip the little devotional that we do there. But generally an hour is given to the Lord in the morning before we start our day. When we're done, then is the morning chore time. And as you can see, I'm giving them a good half an hour, but their chore really should not take that long. And I'm going to explain a little bit about how I came up with these chores in the next video, which I'll explain at the end. So we want to be started by 10 o'clock. At this point, when my son gets his morning chore done, he'll go downstairs and he will start working independently on his own, and I start with my daughters. We will do a read aloud. They do handwriting while I'm doing read aloud. After that, we do either history or science for about 45 minutes, and then they will begin on their language arts. My 6th grader does not need help from me to get started on her language arts. So generally speaking, she will get started on her own while I work with the 1st grader on her language arts. And then while the 1st grader...
Why am I calling her 1st grade? She's in 2nd grade. It's because I don't want to let her go.
While my 2nd grader is working on her independent work for her language arts lesson, then I will see if my 6th grader needs help. And if they both get done early, then we have the book basket in there as kind of a flex thing. The book basket is where we might have reading assignments that pertain to the history of the science. So it's not necessarily their independent reading that goes with their language arts. It should be like library books and stuff that goes with the history or the science. I also want to note that the way I have these blocks chunked out, I have the timestamps there because I need them for my hard stop, like depending on what we are doing that day, because I can be flexible during the day. There might be like a science lesson that I know is not really going to take 45 minutes. Right now we're doing the safety unit, and those lessons are actually pretty short. So I don't need a full 45 minutes for science, so I might allow us a little bit of flex in there. That's just it. The way I have this laid out, it can be a block schedule, it can be an hourly schedule, and it can be a flow. I don't mind if we're ahead, we'll go on to the next task. It's not like I'm going to give my kids just free time because we're not to 11 o'clock yet. No, we will move on to the next task because we would rather get done early than get done late. The hour there is for a hard stop to say, nope, now it's your homework. You have to finish it at the end of the day. I also found for us that it's working a lot better for us to get as many of the family subjects as we can do done before lunch, because again, my brain is the sharpest in the morning, mid-morning especially right before lunch. It starts to slow down after lunch, so I don't want to have to do too much facilitating after lunch. The hardest subjects for me are the family subjects. I recommend for any homeschool mom, whatever the sharpest part of your day is, if your brain is just fully alert after lunch, then put your hardest stuff then. If you're the one that's going to kind of be prodding and facilitating what your children are going to be doing and helping them along, you need to make sure that you are at your sharpest when the hardest subjects are there. So last year when we started out our year, I had all the family subjects after lunch, because I thought, well, math and language arts are most important. I want to make sure we get those done. But what ended up happening was, because everybody was a little bit more sluggish, we were cutting out our family subjects more often than I would have liked. Whereas if I'm saving math for the afternoon, which is how I have this schedule now, there's no way I'm going to let us skip math. So it actually works out like, it's like I'm psychologically tricking myself. No, we're saving math for the afternoon because you know you'll get it done. You won't skip over it just because you're tired. So I have our lunch break here. I shortened our lunch just a little bit from what what we did last year. During this time when they're doing independent work, I can start getting ready for lunch so we can start eating by 12. And then I have some exercise time built in here. I have a Beachbody membership, so this should be enough time for most workouts, and my daughters like working out with me. And then after that, we can do math, our quiet reading time where we will all sit in the living room and do whatever independent reading we have, including Mom, because I want to get better at setting aside time for reading. And then they will finish their homework, whatever they didn't get done earlier in the day, while I go downstairs and watch the history video with my high schooler and help him with anything that he needs. So he knows he has to save questions for Mom for the afternoon. And then they have their afternoon chores once their schoolwork's done. I have blocked in here from 3:30 to 5:30 my work, and at 5:30 I'm going to start dinner, and then they are going to have dinner chores. And then our Friday schedule is a little bit loosey-goosey. So it's not quite this. It's whatever we need to do. So we will do morning time. We will finish any homework we didn't get done for the week. We might do games or something fun. We have our extracurriculars, and then there is a weekly chore. And now there are things and daily responsibilities that my children have, or weekly responsibilities I should say, that are not on this schedule. I will talk more specifically about the chores and the process for how we make this work, because this is like the plan, but there is an actual strategy for how we get this done without me nagging. There are tools. Like I said, this is the plan. They can follow the plan, but I have some other productivity tools to help us get all this done, to help us getting our schoolwork done without me having to nag all the time, to getting the chores done, again, without me having to nag all the time. And so I'm going to talk about that in my next video. In the meantime, check out this video for the schedule that we had set up last year. This schedule may work for you better, or check out this video for how to homeschool with multiple children. Till next time, bye.